Good afternoon, my gorgeous human friends. I do have some friends somewhere, right? How are you all? It's lovely to see you all. I can see the comments too, so give me a shout out. It's going quite fast. I don't have my gigs either, which is a little of a nightmare, but I do have something quite cool to show you all, which has been in the business a long time, but seeing as the staff's made it for me. What is that? Coffee in a cup that says oldie on it. I feel old, guys. I feel old. How are you all? Hi, Tony, Tim and team, says Pat. Thank you, darling. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Carol. Melanie. Erica. Michaela. Jill. And then over on Facebook, we have Carol. Hi, Carol. I did get your cards and I loved them. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Kay Hayes. Lots of kisses. Well, here we are again, 2025. What have I got to tell you all about? Well, today's more about, let's do a demonstration of some form with a nice cool technique so you can take it away with you and maybe inspire you with your mojo or something like that. Hopefully that's the key. I'm not playing with paper today. Well, I am, but not making an album of any sort today. We're going to just do a little bit of technique-y based things today. So I'm not sure how long it's going to last. You might have me for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. So grab a cup of tea. If you can share the show, that would be wonderful. We started Mighty Mondays 2 months ago. Was it about 2 months ago? And they have been well received. And I know I've had a lot of messages from customers saying loving the Mighty Monday technique. So we're sticking with it for the time being. And if I didn't get any faces coming to say hello or talking to me, then maybe we would have got rid of it by now. But because you're all so supportive, as always, and I do appreciate it, here we are for our amazing Mighty Monday. Now, as always, Mighty Mondays is not about selling you anything. I've always attached the products to the show if you are interested in any of the products that I do use. But Mighty Mondays is more about maybe utilising what you have in your stash, or what you can use as an alternative, but as always, you know, you can buy if you want to. So what have I got to tell you all about? Hi, Patricia. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Julie. Lots of you coming on now. And then we have Brenda Clevenger. Good morning, Tony. At least 6 inches of snow here in Hawaii, Ohio, and it's still snowing. Wow. We woke up yesterday to about 2.5 here in Wakefield, and that's quite a lot for us. It's not a sketch where you can really go out in your car, not without it being safe. The UK is just not equipped for that sort of weather. We have a little bit of panic, but yeah, we've survived it. There's a little bit still on my car, just a tiny bit though, guys, not too much. So liked and shared as always. So a couple of things I just want to touch on. I don't really like to talk about things too much about the business and what we're doing and on Mighty Mondays, because it really is the techniques that I want to show you on the 1 o'clock Mighty Mondays. But I'm live tonight at 6, but I do need you to all know this. So what's happened today is unfortunately I can't go live on YouTube tonight, and the reason being is Tim's friend, who is having an operation, has been told that he needs a family member with him whilst he has this operation, and he needs to be catered for with a family member for 24 hours from the operation, and Tim's friend hasn't got any family. So Tim has said he will go with him and look after him for the 24, well, for however long it takes, take him for the procedure and then look after him in and around until he's sorted. So and that's only just come to light this morning, unfortunately. So he's going to just sort that this afternoon. He's just set me up here, but I can't go live on YouTube tonight because it's all a little bit too technical for me. We've got a lot of gear in there and I really don't know how to do it and do it smoothly. So what I'm going to do tonight, guys, and if you can tell all of your friends, I'll get Karen to pop it on social media too, because I've not had a chance to speak to Karen yet. But I'm going to be live on Facebook, okay? So if you go in the Eureka fan page, I'll share it in there, or my personal page, Toni Darroch, and we're going to have a chat in my kitchen tonight. I've got a few things that are back in stock. I want to talk to you about the VIP class. I want to talk to you about quite a few bits and pieces tonight, 2025 HSN show dates and things like that. So tonight 6 o'clock is still going ahead, but it won't be on YouTube. So you need to come to my Facebook page. Hopefully everybody's got Facebook, okay? So make sure if you see anything or anybody's wondering where I am, that's where I'm going to be, stood up in my kitchen. So let's have a look. Julie says friends and family are important. They are, they absolutely are. Melanie says that's so lovely of Tim. Yeah, he is a good friend. Well, friends anyway, regardless. You can't leave friends stranded, and he's been on the list for such a long time to get this procedure done that there's just no chance in all this world that we would not allow him not to have it just because he's got nobody to look after him. So Tim's going to sort that out, which means me and Tom get to have pizza. So let's do some techniques. Let me show you what I've got, what I'm going to be using. Now, if you've got them, amazing. You want to replicate, amazing. If you haven't, you can buy them. But the encouragement is if you've got something similar that's going to work, dig it out. Let's get them used. And it doesn't have to be my brand. It can be any brand. I encourage you to use all of the craft items that you buy. You know, the craft community, the businesses, we should all be working together, which means none of this, you only buy from me and you only use my product, because I've seen that so much lately. We've never been like that, you all know that, but just over the last 2 or 3 months, I've seen a lot of people get upset by other people in groups saying you can't post that, you didn't use this, and you can't do that because you didn't use that. And it seems a little bit like, oh, if there's ever a time we need to connect as companies, it's right now, right? I mean, we've always done it, but it does like upset me a little bit when companies don't allow people to buy craft. We all buy from, we don't just get our beans from Morrison's, do we? Come on. Right, let me show you what's in the show. So I've put the confetti in. Unfortunately, we don't have all of the colours, but as you all know, we've got some new colours coming soon, and I have been promising the white for so long, but I haven't been able to get the white because I've been waiting to get the other colours as well and paying for them, etc, etc. So these are the colours that we do have available if you're interested in confetti ink. They are a staple item in your stash. We use them all the time here at Stamps by Me. I've popped in 2 of our wonderful stencils, a white ink pad, and then just down the bottom there you can see we've got Woodland Wildlife. That's back in stock. We only ordered 50 of those, guys, so there's not many of those. So if you click to notify me, I ordered them for you, so make sure you get them. And then if you go further down, if you are on the website, you can let's just see if it'll let me go down. There we go. Ink pads, because I'm going to be using those. And then again, the Stamps by Me Woodland Wildlife stencil and stamp set, which you all click to notify me on, and I've only got ordered 50 of those, and then the embossing folder, which is 50 of those. So that's all we've got of those. So there we go. Right, so let's have a look at what we're going to do now. Pre-Christmas we did some content in the app, and I did the white ink pad technique that you paint, and 2 ladies messaged me, one of a question of the technique, and 2, the second lady messaged me to say she'd never seen the technique before and she can't stop doing the technique. So I thought today would be a great opportunity to show you some other alternatives as to how to get that effect. And the first one I'm going to show you is the original one. But if you have these, can you remember when you all probably bought these with the black pages? These are a great way to use this technique, because you need like a dark coloured cardstock. And I think because these are ring bound, and maybe you've not used these, you bought them with best intention, you might want to start doing this technique in your books and doing different stencils all the way. Do a different stencil on every page and try the technique and do it in different colours and things like that. So maybe instead of just doing it on black card for a card, maybe do them in your own little journaling books as well. So if you've got these are on the website as well. I just haven't attached them to the show, but if you want these, they're on the website. But I'm just going to use some black card. So the technique is, it's called like a halo effect, and you need a white ink pad and some colours, whether that be coloured ink pads. I've attached them to the show. Confetti ink, you can use your sparkle pens, your gel pens, your roll ball jelly pens, whatever you might have in your stash you can utilise for this technique. So let's have a look. Green suits you, Toni. Everybody says that, and it's just not a colour. It's just not a colour that I buy, Michaela. somebody bought me this scarf, and this top is a sample for Cedar Rose, which I am obviously running it through the washer and wash it and wash it to make sure it doesn't pill, it doesn't shrink, all of those things. And I thought, do you know what, I always go for black, I'm going to test a different colour. And I got this one, I get so many compliments in it, honestly. It's wonderful. I really do like it. It's growing on me. It's really growing on me. Green's one of those for me, though. You can get it horribly wrong, green. So let's have a look. I love your scarf. Yeah, a friend bought me this scarf. Oh, Rhiannon, they couldn't... Rhiannon, I hope you're okay, sweetheart. Natalie. Oh, Natalie's still got all 3 of her books to use, so she might start using them. Fingers crossed, darling. Right, come on, let's get cracked on. It's 1:15 already. Have a slurp of your coffee. So it's a super easy technique. I'm going to use the stencils that I've bolted into the show. Probably most of you have got them. But today, let's have a look, see if we've got the fern one as well. So these are the ones that I have to hand. And these are my favourite stencils from 2025, these two. So you have the floral and then you have the fern, and we'll try and do both. I'm going to show you different techniques for different ones. So basically the first technique is, let's just pop me up in the corner there. You need a white ink pad, a blending brush, and then some confetti inks. They can be your sparkly ones, or they can be your traditional ones that you got, that the acrylic based ones. They work as well beautifully. Oh god, that's cracked a lot. They still work though, guys. It's because they're acrylic based, which means they've got a ton of powder in them. Right, so I haven't decided yet. So maybe I should start a book. Should I start my book? Shall we start my book as well? Do know though that you don't need to have the books to do this technique. You can absolutely just do it on black cardstock. Now the cool thing about these is all the pages fold back. So I'm going to start my first page. I'm quite excited now. So I'm going to use the flower, and I'm just going to maybe just pop it off to the side. And then we can use a nice gel pen and finish the page and make it all nice and gorgeous, right? She says. Best plans and all. Right, so let's get the white ink pad. Let's get some colour down. So the key to this is laying the colour down, so then we can make a coloured image on black cardstock. So normally if you paint a colour on top of on black, you can't really see it, but because we're adding a layer of pigment ink underneath, it acts as like a base layer, so then the colour sits on top and stands proud, so you can actually see the colour. Okay, so let's just put this through here. So let's just get some white on. So I'm just laying a full lay down of colour here in the white, pure white. If you haven't got a white ink pad, and I'm going to recommend anything today, you need the white. I know probably you've all got them, but if we have any new ladies or gentlemen on today, you need a white ink pad in your stash, not just for this technique, just lots of different techniques. I love this stencil. Oh, it's flowers, isn't it? You know I'm going to love it if it's flowers. Bit calmer now. Hello, Toni, and everyone, says Anita. Oh, as well, is Carol on? Carol Clark. No. I'll speak to Carol tonight. So then you end up with something that looks so good, so good. So I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. You're just going to need to let this dry a little bit. I've got a bit of a build up there, so I'm just going to grab a bit of tissue and just mop or pick up that ink, should we say. And then this base layer here is going to act as like an underlay for our work. Okay, so we've got our lovely page going on there. Michaela says the white ink pad is so good. I know. took me a long time to find it, Michaela. Can you remember? A long time. Like blooming everything else. Tape runners, long time, still going. So I'm just gonna waft this. Come back to me for a second. Waft. You can try it with your heat gun, but mine's not plugged in, so we're having to waft today. Becky Hedges, hi sweetheart. I hope you're well. Marilyn Squire. Pat Capri. What a great name. Pat Capri. I love great names. Pat Capri, good morning from Staten Island, New York. Love your pod as well. That's really kind. Thank you so much. What's the weather like in New York, please? We like to know these things. We are naturally nosy as human beings, right? I'm sorry I'm messing with my hair. It's because I got caught in the rain with a dog. Not a good sketch at all. You see how thick my hair is? Going off piece. But anyway. So, let's have a look at that. That is so, that'd be just a nice sympathy card. Nice sentiment, absolutely done, right? But here comes the sort of like fun part from it. So there's a couple of things you can do. So let's just let me show you first this technique, because this is quite a cool one. So let's get some colour. So I'm just going to take some of the purple here and add a splodge onto my glass mat. And then I'm going to take a brush and some water. And Rhiannon says I'll go over with white, with coloured pencils too. Yes, do you know as well, Rhiannon, we did that on MDF, and I'm just looking in my studio now. We did like a leaf and we covered it with black paper, and then we stamped a leaf design stamp on top of it. It was a solid stamp, and we coloured it with pencils. Oh, to die for. Really to die for. So this white underlayer is brilliant to house anything on top. So if you've got sort of like some inks or paints or pens or pencils that'll sit on top, you can really get some exciting looks. You really can. Pat says it's cold in New York and they're expecting snow. It seems like the whole world's got snow right now. Charlotte Palmer, Happy New Year to you all. Hi everyone. Hi sweetheart. Brenda Clevenger, good morning Tony. 6 inches, no I've read that one, sorry. Anyway, she has got 6 inches of snow, which is a lot. So I'm just going to pick up some of this purple here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it on top of the white. Now when you first put it on, it looks quite dark. But as the water evaporates, it dries lighter. Watch what happens. We'll just do this one here. And don't worry if you go over the lines, because guess what? When you go onto the black, you can't see it anyway, because remember, colour doesn't sit well on black. Can you see it? I'll blow it. Oh. See how much it disappears? You only get a hue of colour, so I'm going to go in a little bit darker this time. The cool thing about this technique also is there's lots of other ways to sort of like make your artwork look really unique. If you put the stencil back on and use a gel pen and outline the design with a gel pen, you get more of like it looks like a engraved into wood. So polychromos pencils are the best going over white. I have those, Carol. I am a nightmare with them though, because they've only been used a few times and they were a lot of money. So the encouragement for me this year, use my stash. Snow's gone in Barwell, says Julie. So you can see it pretty much disappears to nothing. I've held it up there because you can see the purple. Can you see that there? It just gives you the most ghost-like, beautiful finish. Now let's just go, I'm going to go true dark here with hardly no water. Let's add this on and show you what it looks like. It's like a halo. You're never going to get the like brightest, breeziest purple on here. But what you are going to get is colour on black, which you can't do. But this little hack of the white underneath, see what that looks like when that dries back, gives you a beautiful, beautiful finish. So maybe you don't want to water down your ink pads, maybe go straight on with the colour and finding that's sitting a little bit better and it's showing a little bit more. There we go, can you see now? It's just so cool. So let's just colour this one here. And at the end of the day, don't be afraid to experiment. It is only paper, card, white ink pad. You see I'm going over the lines a little bit there, but you can't see it because it's gone onto the black. So it disappears, which is cool, right? How beautiful that is. Now if you wanted to add a second colour on top, like mix a teal into each petal, you'd have pink and teal. That would look awesome too. What are we thinking? Do you like it? Oh, you like it? I thought you might. Oh, snow in Australia, summer here. It's 30s over the weekend. Wow. So let's just paint this in. You do need a little bit of water on your brush though to at least move the ink around a little bit. So let's just cover the full flower. You do need a little bit of water so it'll move around. It's a little bit hard to move around otherwise. Get these books dusted off, guys. Get them dusted off, get them out. I love a bit of mindful crafting, don't you? That is that full flower. So let's do some green. Natalie, would the gouache paint? I think it probably would, Natalie. I think it would, darling. Oh, come on, get it. I need to get Natalie to get her things used. So I'm just going to go over here with the green. So this is just this technique, I'm not going to do it all, I'll do the rest in my spare time, but this technique is to show you the halo effect just with sort of like your ink pads here. And on the second page I'm going to show you how to use different products to get a different look, okay? Looks quite cool, right? What do we think? Green's pretty much disappeared to absolutely nothing, so the key is less water, as we know. So that's sort of one technique. Now you see how that's got a purple flower there, just to, if you are wanting to elevate your design just a little bit further, I'm just going to take a teal. Maybe that's not the best colour in the world, but I just want to show you how now you can, so I've done that flat in the green and the purple, so now I'm just going to pick up some of this teal and I'm going to go into the centre of this flower with the teal, and I'm just going to do part of the petal. Watch when that dries back. Hopefully we'll end up with a shaded petal. Is it just going to disappear? Let's go back on. So you really can sort of experiment. So when you've got your first layer down, add a second layer and watch what happens. It just blends. It's because of the white underneath, I think. I'm just blowing it. So if you are really wanting to invest a little bit of mindful crafting with it all, I'll let that dry back a little bit. You really are going to get, can you see the shading now? It's still drying a little bit, but can you see how we've got a shaded petal in there as well? So experiments with your pinks and your blues and your purples, because that now looks different to the rest, doesn't it, with that little bit of colour on there. Probably would if I did have the courage to maybe go a little bit darker. Who's going to be trying this technique? Beautiful. It's just an alternative way to experiment with the craft that you spend your money on. So now you're starting to get, and it sort of evaporates with no lines as well, which is cool, leaving a bit of a halo. It's just dispersing there. You can see the water evaporating. Push it on a little bit more. So now you've got like a shaded petal, where really we haven't been to shading classes, have we really? And it'll be the same applies for the green. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a second stencil, and I'm going to show you a different way, okay? So I'm just going to fold that one over, and then let me just clean this up. And let's do a different way. So let's get a different stencil. So I'm going to use the fern on this one. Oriental black furniture decorated with walls. It does. It really does. So here we have the fern. So let's do the fern like across the centre of the page, up and across. Let's get some white. So let's get white on this one. So push some white through. It doesn't have to be perfectly blended either, although this is a great blending ink. It has a lot of oil content, so you really can move it around, shake it and move it. It's a bit of a mover and shaker is my ink pad. So now for this second one, if you have sparkly inks, confetti inks, sparkly watercolours, watch the result that you get this time. But you can also use, like I say, your jelly roll pens, your pencils on top. If you wanted to get real dimension with your pencils, you could totally do that too. So now we have a nice fern going across the centre of our page. So this time, if we just grab a gold, so I've just got my gold here, confetti ink. I'm just going to take my paintbrush, and then watch what happens when we do a sparkly version. I'm just going to take the ink, I'm just going to get rid of some water in my brush because that is heavy. And then if you paint on top of the white here, you can actually make it look like you've free painted it, because nobody's going to know that this isn't a freehand painting because the white was underneath. Nobody's going to know that, right? Just let that dry. Let's do the other side. Nice. I'm not actually following the design much at all, really. I'm going to try and make it look as naturally painted as possible. See that there? Patricia, the small ink pads, there's only a few of them in stock, so I haven't added them to the show. We've got all the big ones in stock. There is a few small ones though, but if you just go to the pretty colour inside section, I think there's about 5 or 6 that are still in stock in the mini ones. So that's with like a sparkly paint of some form. Let me show you some other ways. So if you have these in your stash, mine or anyone else's, the sparkle pens, show you these. So this one I'll just colour in the clear sparkle. So that's in clear sparkle, and to hand I have this yellow one. So I'm just gonna, ooh, I knew that was gonna happen because I've not used it for a while. I'll just pick that up. And then the yellow one, now again, watch what happens with the colour on this one. Going to get a different look again. The yellow is pretty much going to disperse, leaving only a light touch of yellow. Can you see the difference there? So these are the sparkly paints. This is your sparkle pens, Gossip, or if you've got, I don't know, the brand, mind you, every brand's under sun's done them, I guess. Crafter's Companion. I just need to clean that off because it's just going to bog me down. We do have some on the web as well if you do like them though. Don't look much when it's like that, does it? But until you hold it up, so you could do a sparkly one, sparkly effect if you want. So I'm just going to come away from that one. Is it dry? Pretty much. And I'm just going to come back to this one. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to show you the gel pen technique. So all you do is you just take your gel pen and then make sure it's working, and then let's just say, for instance, we're going to highlight the center of this flower. It's a little bit small detail in here and I'm not sure I would be able to do it justice with my ink, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gel pen and I'm going to go into those little holes. You could actually do this freehand without this, but I'm going to get clear precision if doing it this way, so I'm going to take the time to do it. So I'm just going to go in all of those holes in the hope I get the white detail come through. Like that. So I've got that lovely white detail, and then when you pop it back on, if you then want to just enhance your artwork even further, if you take your white gel pen and then just follow the line on your stencil, very mindful, and go around. Let's just do a few. If you have your jelly ball pens, you know, the sparkly ones, it looks cool in those. So I'm trying to think of other things you might have in your stash. Let's just outline a few of them. And this is the look you get, which I think is just a beautiful, beautiful way to accent your artwork. Gold pens, gel pens. So I'll just do the bit that we've coloured because I really do want to complete this page. I'm going to pull the other one out though because that's not going to be part of my artwork. That was just an example for you. But that's the beauty of these books, I guess. We can pull out the pages if we're not happy with our work at any point. So I'm just going to continue quickly, taking my time as well though because I really like this. So the bits that I've coloured I'm going to outline. Who's going to be giving this technique a try? if you haven't already. No, I don't. And you can just take as much time as you need at home. What do we think to that then? Do we like that? I need to obviously finish painting it, and I need to add some sparkle too, but another technique to pull this page together if you're sort of like doing a journaling is if you take your gel pen and you do a wonky line to the edge here like so, and then you come up here to about here, and then you go from here and join it to the design like so. And then if you do it all again, but then obviously try and cross the lines so they're not perfect. And then if you had a few hashtag things. See that there? So it sort of like stops your artwork from floating around, and then you can handwrite or you can journal, write a little note to yourself, or it's quite a cute way to decorate a page. I love this sort of idea. Got a bit of white there. I think that's pretty cute. So whatever stencils you've got, experiment with the mediums that you have. This one you can actually go, obviously just go freehand if you wanted to. You do not have to go back into the stencil. So you could do the white, and then, you know, the other cool thing about it as well, this sort of design, is if you take your stencil, look, and you pop it on, you can sort of like Zentangle. So you could just do like lines like the like they do for Zentangling. No, so the lines are within, then you can add the spots. Could have like a checkered fern. We all used to do this in school, right? Doodle. You could have a fern with all different patterns within each leaf if you wanted to. Mary says she's never tried that. Well, hopefully that's inspired you to have a play with your stash. Now, what I will be doing as well is I'll take my clear sparkle as well now, and then I'll go over the colours. So then the leaves will be sparkly on the page too. So we have some clear sparkle on the website, I believe. So then you can go in and colour. I'm just going to colour the leaves there, and that's it. A little bit of a inspirational video for you there to maybe get you going with, if you had your books and they were collecting dust, then now hopefully they're not collecting dust. Don't let it be said I don't encourage you to use your stash here at Stamps by Me. And that's fallen out of the back of the content that I did for you all for Christmas. So just a few things then. If you do try this technique, make sure you show it in our Eureka fan page, Stamps by Me, Paper Crafting. And tonight, don't forget, I'm live only on Facebook at 6 o'clock. So come and say hello, and I'll get Karen to post it on the page just as a reminder. So whatever you're doing, have a fantastic afternoon, guys, and I will catch you all tonight. So elegant. I'm pleased you like that one. I can't wait to see what you're all going to do with it. I'll see you all later, guys. I've got some dinner to have. I'll see you later. Bye.